it was honestly kind of surprising qualifying session. We were here in the spring. Everybody, for the most part, ran wide open through 1 and 2. Super easy. And 3 and 4 was kind of the end that kind of determined your lap. And this time around, like, the lap times are just way slower, and not a single car in the field ran wide open through 1 and 2. So, you know, everything we had prepped for was kind of totally opposite from what we just did there. And I thought my team did a really good job of making the adjustments for the slower pace and just everything that kind of goes into that. And, you know, obviously had to adapt from a lot of angles. So, yeah, it was, you know, interesting lap. You know, I obviously watched everybody else and I saw that nobody had ran wide open through 1 and 2, and even coming to the green, everybody was way out of the gas. And when I came up to green, I knew my car was going to be really good, and it was all about wide open through 1 and 2, and just told myself, look, just make a good solid 3 and 4, but don't give up too much like I did in Darlington, and you were going to have a good shot at the pole. So yeah, it was a good lap, good enough at least, and it'll be big to start up front tomorrow for sure.
All right, we'll begin taking questions. If you have a question, we'll raise your hand. Get Mike to you. We'll start with Reed right here in the center, and then we'll go to Bob.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. Was were the slower speeds responsible with the slicker track, new tire combination? Why do you think that was?
I don't know. You know, the car drives the exact same. I don't notice a difference on this tire, and you know, even my inputs don't feel that drastically different. You know, maybe have a little less grip, but not so much that you would think you were going to be a second slower. So maybe it's just, you know, this place is so momentum based, just being out of the gas a little bit extra, you know, really adds up. But yeah, it was definitely surprising. You know, I didn't expect that going into this weekend. And, you know, all the prep work, right? You'd prep to be running way faster than what we were this weekend. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge for sure.
Hit Bob next. Then we'll go to Chad.
Bob Cockers, Fox Sports. Could you tell anything with the different right side tire?
No, not really. Just slower. But yeah, from a fuel standpoint, and, you know, I didn't really notice anything different than what I expected in the spring. Like I said, you could just maybe not get into the corner quite as hard, but the feel and everything was very similar to what I've always imagined here. So yeah, it was definitely, I don't know, I'm still kind of surprised by the pace change for sure.
You have the most poles in a single season since Kyle Busch in 2018 or 2017. Were you always, like, in sprint cars and stuff, were you a good qualifier?
No, horrendous. Dead last every time.
So where is this, I guess, newfound qualifying prowess come from?
I don't know. I mean, sprint cars, I was literally the worst qualifier ever. I'd be so nervous and just, I would never get to do it unless a national series came, so I had no practice or experience. But in stock cars, I've always, I felt like, been the strongest in qualifying for whatever reason. And you know, in the past at SHR, I would qualify 5th to 10th a lot. You know, just didn't really show a whole lot because you're not on the pole, right? Where now the car's capability is just so much greater. It's just those 5th to 10th qualifying runs are now poles and seconds and whatnot. So yeah, qualifying has always, I felt like, been kind of my strongest asset, truthfully, and just haven't really been able to show it in the Cup Series.
So what are you, like, what's your mentality going into it? Because you were just talking about, you know, coaching yourself and taking it somewhat easy, and you got a fast lap. Some guys go out there and, you know, their hands are shaking afterwards and all that stuff. And
yeah,
how are you able to do that sort of in control, I guess?
I don't know. I'm one of those guys. I don't use markers. I don't use anything. I just go out there and I just go wide open until I feel like I need a lift, and then once I feel like I can go back to the gas, I go back to the gas. And you know, sometimes I mess it up. More often than not, truthfully, I probably mess it up. But I don't ever have like a preconceived notion from like watching videos of, oh, I need a lift right here. Like, I just go out there and I just drive it to the limit. And if it's good enough, it's good enough. And sometimes I do leave a little bit on the table or overdo it. 99% of the time I overdo it. But yeah, I don't know. It's, you know, it all comes really down to the car. You know, they're just really good at getting the balance really good. And, you know, the JGR cars, I'm not the only one that qualifies well, right? Denny's on the front row with me. Christopher's up there. Ty, for as early as he went out, was really good. Our cars are just really good. And when your cars are good, it just allows you to be a lot more aggressive.
Let's go to Brian here on the other side.
Ryan Kemp with the Racing Experts. A little bit more of an unserious question. The new pole award trophy that you just obtained, is that going to go in the display case, or is that going to be a new toy?
That will definitely be a fighting piece at our household. Having 3 kids, I have another pedal car from 2016, and Brooks rides it all the time. So, yeah, he'll be excited, I guess, as the older, the seniority to get the newer one. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to try to win one in the spring, so that way all 3 kids can have one. They're not fighting over it. But yeah, that's always a cool part about Kansas. Is just the pole trophy and just unique things. Not every track has a pole trophy, so it's always cool when there is a cool one like that.
Come up here to Caleb next.
Caleb Speedway.com. Bass Pro is originated in Springfield, and that's about 3 hours away. Probably the closest. Kansas is probably the closest track to it. So, does Johnny ever put any more emphasis on this race weekend, or anytime we come to Kansas when you have the Bass Pro logos?
I don't feel like there's ever any more pressure. It's just cool every time we come here because you do kind of know it's in their backyard, and came and hung out with them the last couple days, so you know their presence in the area, and he'll be here tomorrow, right? So there's definitely, I guess, an added pressure just naturally when he's here because we want to run good every week, right? But when he's here, I'd love to experience a win with Johnny here. I've never got to experience that before, so. Yeah, definitely, it'll be a big deal for us tomorrow to have him here and hopefully can execute and, allow him to, go to victory lane in his backyard essentially. And yeah, I think there's always an added pressure anytime you're, whether it's as a driver, your home track, or, your sponsor's home track, or, even your crew chief's home track. When you're at your home, you just want to perform because there's a lot more people there to support you. So yeah, hopefully we can do that.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Frontstretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Frontstretch fans can use promo code FRONTSTRETCH to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay rewarded.
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.